guys, it's Amy. Welcome back to Too Blessed. Um, Today is one of those kind of serious videos, and I know um, maybe some people don't like that, and I'm sorry. Um, I mean, really, when I started my channel, my intention was to share my journey with all of my chronic illnesses and, you know, what was going on, what I was going through. And that, like I said, that's really why I started this channel. Now, I've definitely, especially lately, branched off into more fun videos, DIYs and decorating and seasonal things. But really, this is why I started my channel. And in fact, the name of my channel was kind of inspired by some of the health things that I was struggling with at the time and still struggling with. So today I wanted to share with you some news about what's going on with my health. Referring to my channel name, when I started my channel, it's been about 2 years. Um, I I was just finding out that my kidneys were not doing well. And, we were told that at some point I would need dialysis, I would need a transplant, and so like I said, it's been over 2 years, but at the time I started my channel, that was really weighing on me, you know. It was kind of shocking to me at the time to hear that. And I started searching out videos on YouTube talking about, specifically, I was looking for videos where people would talk about dialysis or maybe even show going to dialysis and show a little bit of the process. And I really didn't find anything. And so I was kind of inspired to share a little bit of that story. And that is why I named my channel Too Blessed. There's other reasons as well, but the two is actually referencing my kidneys. Those two stinking kidneys that don't work the way they're supposed to. And even though they don't work, I'm still blessed. God is still good. So that's where my channel name originated. But anyway, so for quite a good period of time, my kidneys had actually improved slightly and I was considered stable. And so everything had kind of gotten put on hold. Like we had gone for the consultation for transplant. We went through some of the initial steps that needed to be done. And then when I was considered stable and I didn't really need dialysis yet, that was just kind of put on hold, because you're really not considered for a transplant until you start dialysis. So we've been just in kind of this holding pattern for nearly 2 years, just always knowing that dialysis was just over the next hill, kind of thing, but not yet. And the doctor always told me, if you start feeling worse, if you feel like you're ready. I was kind of at a point where I could start dialysis, but it wasn't an urgent type of thing, so they kind of left it open and up to me. So the last couple of months, we have noticed that my kidneys were just getting slightly worse kind of every time I went, it would be just a little bit worse and then just a little bit worse. And I know if you've kept up with some of my recent videos, you've noticed in a lot of my videos, I would mention that I was having a rough day or I had just been sick or something like that. And it, that's why. um, so today is Thursday, November 1st. I'm hoping to get this video up today. If not, it'll go up tomorrow. But I just went to the kidney doctor on Tuesday, and we did find out that my kidneys are much worse now. I'm trying not to get emotional. Um, they did get kind of substantially worse since the last time I was there. And so at this point it's not optional anymore. So I will be starting dialysis. Um, in fact, when I was there on Tuesday, she asked me if I would be able to start the next day. And after we kind of talked about it for a minute, we decided to wait until next week, because we need to get some things arranged as far as I need to have transportation and that kind of thing, because I can't drive, and of course my husband works, so he can't take me. So I'm actually right now still waiting to hear from them. They said the social worker was going to set all of that up and arrange everything. So I am just waiting for a call. It might even come while I'm filming this video, um, because I don't even know yet what days I have to go, what time I have to go. And I'm the type of person that likes to plan things. So I'm kind of on edge, not knowing and being able to kind of think things through and plan them out in my head, you know. So it'll either be, I'll have to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or I will have to go Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I am hoping for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That'll work out better with my husband's schedule, because typically he's off on the weekends. Now, right now, he's still working 6 days a week. But like I said, I would prefer if we could do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I don't know like what time of day it's going to be, because it's just going to depend on when they have a slot open. So, like I said, I'm kind of on edge, not knowing, not being able to think things through. So, I wanted to share this information, not just sharing my story also, but kind of share it with you guys, because it is going to mean some changes. Um, I am hoping that it won't impact my channel too much, but it could. Um, we've got all of those Christmas challenges coming up, basically starting next week. Um, in fact, on the 7th, which is next Wednesday, is the first one. So these next couple of days, I'm making a little bit of a push to try to get some of those videos done and filmed ahead of time. Um, because with all of the other medical conditions that I have, we just can't predict exactly how my body will react. I know they have said for most people, like the day that you go and have your dialysis done, usually afterwards you're very, very tired. And like I told my husband, I said, I'm already very, very tired. So I'm a little worried what that's going to feel like for me. So I'm kind of planning that those days that I have dialysis, I probably won't really get much done. I'm hoping that the other days I will feel better and then be able to make up for that. So I'm hoping that on non-dialysis days, I can film videos and then maybe do the editing on my dialysis days. Like I said, this is all so new. I don't know what's going to work. And it's probably going to take a while to figure that out too. Um, the doctors are very hopeful that all of the, or at least a lot of the nausea that I've been dealing with is a result of all of the toxins building up in my body. And so once I start dialysis and they start removing that, hopefully that will improve. Because that's been very unpredictable. In fact, this week, Sunday I had a great day. Monday I was sick in bed all day. Um, then Tuesday and Wednesday, great days. Today, in fact, as I was setting up to film this video, I just got sick. So it's just it's just so unpredictable. And so to be able to have that reduced is going to be great. The other big difference that it's going to make is hopefully you guys will see a noticeable difference because this fluid buildup that makes me so big is hopefully going to go away. And I'm excited about that part. Let me tell you, um, that's been one of the really difficult things dealing with over the last 2 years is just I mean, if you've gained weight, you know how it feels that like you just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and having to buy bigger clothes. And but in this case I can't do anything about it. I told my husband it would be easier to deal with if I was doing this to myself because I would know that I could change it. But I can't do anything about it. So I'm super excited to get rid of this fluid. Hopefully that in turn will help me have more energy and be able to move around better. I mean, I most days I feel almost feel like I can't even move. I feel like I'm so heavy and I'm starting to notice like a lot of backaches and pains and things like that just from the additional weight that I'm carrying. Um, I mean, right now I feel like my face is so fat, and it's just it's that fluid. It's that fluid buildup. So this is what we're dealing with. Um, the other big change that this is going to mean is um, if you've seen any of my previous videos talking about my gastroparesis and how it impacts my diet very greatly, it limits the foods that I can eat. And once I start dialysis, it's actually going to limit me even further because there's going to be certain foods that I can eat now that are easy to digest that I won't be able to eat when I'm on dialysis. And I am a little concerned about that. I'll be honest. Like I said, because I have such a difficult time finding things that I can eat. That when I find something that I can eat that doesn't upset my stomach, I tend to eat that same thing over and over again. One of those things is mashed potatoes. I eat quite a bit of mashed potatoes. You know, easy to digest. And sorry, I heard a weird noise outside and I got distracted. Um, but apparently on dialysis, you can't really eat potatoes because they contain phosphorus. And so I was like, what am I going to eat if I can't eat mashed potatoes? I mean, it's going to be worth it, of course, especially, that I'll be feeling better and um, get some of this fluid off. And, you know, it's always just that little bit of fear of the unknown. So once we get in there and get started, I know that everything's going to be fine. So, my sweet husband, he is going to go with me on the first day. He wants to be there, and I'm very grateful. I kind of wanted him to be there, but I didn't want to ask him because, of course, he'll have to take a day off work, and he doesn't like to do that unless he has to. Um, but I'm really thankful that he's willing to do that and be there for me. It's going to help my anxiety and calm my fears a little bit. Um, so I think that's it for now. I I will update you guys. I'm kind of considering um, maybe doing a little bit of vlogging that first day. Probably not really showing what they're doing, but I thought about maybe just vlogging a little bit and kind of sharing how I'm feeling and how it's going and that type of thing. And dialysis is a big time commitment. So I mentioned that it's going to be 3 days a week, but it's typically about 4 hours at a time. So, that's a good portion of a day. Um, so it's gonna change. It's gonna change a lot of things. It's gonna change our lifestyle. We won't have as much flexibility, um, or as much freedom. My husband is very spontaneous, and he loves to come home from work and say, "Hey, we're going to go on a road trip tomorrow," and that's going to change that a little bit. We can still travel, but if we're going to be away from home over a day that I need to have dialysis, we would have to set that up ahead of time and find a dialysis center in the area where we're going, and get all of those things arranged. So it's going to limit our spontaneity, to some extent. So, pros and cons about everything, but I am mostly just kind of relieved in a way that we're going to get this started, and then we can start to focus on talking about transplant and moving forward with some of those. There's still a few more steps along the way that we have to complete to get to that point, but over the next few months, that's what we'll be doing. That's what we'll be working on. So thank you guys for watching. If you've made it through this whole video, it probably ended up longer. I was intending it to just be a quick little update, but you know me, I get talking and I can't stop. But thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will see you in the next one.